Huh?
I'm muted. All right,
Press the
sound.
button, Jared.
But I pushed him. Let me crack some Sirenscape. Had some birds in the background. I think we did it.
You think we're good?
What did I miss? I'm missing something. No, that's on.
I think we're on. Hi. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome. Welcome to Feytouch, our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign set entirely in the Feywild. I'm James. I'm a professional dungeon master. I'm James. I'm a professional dungeon master with RPGathome. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to, I think, episode 6 of our second module, Wrath of the River King by Cobalt Press. I think we're well underway now, and well and truly within the Feywild. It's like we were never not with that familiar with it. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah.
Yes, I live here now.
Yeah.
It's like when
with the guns in the eye.
to, like Jamaica and come back with like the dreads and like like he's like
horrible dreads.
One day,
Rastafarian shirt.
He's
That's
just
what
completely.
and then I talk about life in Jamaica, like I know.
Yeah.
Oh, in Jamaica, it's all different. But I just stayed at the resort, like I didn't actually go anywhere else. Yeah.
Well, hello everyone. We've been away for 2 weeks, so I hope you all missed us. It does feel like forever. We had babies, and we had older children in hospital, and we had a horse race in Australia, which, of course, when you have a horse race in Australia, you stop working for a day, which was fun. But we're back. We're back and really happy to be here. So, and a warm welcome to my 4 wonderful players. How are you today, Eric? What's going on in the Bay Area? Is that what we call it?
Yeah, that is what you call it. We got some rain. That's good. Some more. I'm still dealing with my new house furniture. I'm sleeping on the floor, so yeah, it's very echoey. If you hear the echo, that's why. There's no corners breaking up my noise. So,
well, welcome. Great to have you with us. And of course, Eric plays the master. What's your name? Bisbo. Not Doofy. Bisbo PI, a fish out of water, so to speak, in a strange Fey world. Joining us straight from work, and we very much appreciate it. Taylor, it was literally amazing to everyone to be quiet so she can hang up on her work colleagues and straight into the stream. Hi, Taylor. How are you doing today?
So this doesn't work. This is actually like me using my knowledge to do advocacy work. So I'm not getting paid for this, and they annoy me. But hi, I'm Taylor. I play the.
Please don't watch D&D. Please don't watch.
Yeah, hello, people.
No, they don't. They don't. And no, they do not. I once made a D&D joke, and no one got it, so we're safe.
Clear.
We're clear.
Was it about DMing in a dungeon? In which case, it's a whole other ballgame. Got to watch that. Sorry, as you were.
See.
No, it was an inside joke.
Dungeons and Dragons players, and that was bad. Anyway.
Yeah.
Get out of here. I play the Eladrin Fey Sorcerer Esmeralda, who's very happy to be home in the Feywild.
Very good. Thanks for coming. And Jared, hope you're doing okay. Sleepless nights are done. Thank you so much for running the stream. How are you today?
It's not that the sleepless nights are done. It's that your body just changes. You just get to a point where like time is immaterial and sleep is a dream. I'm doing well. The baby is healthy. Sorry for 2 weeks ago. He had his first meltdown and we literally had no fucking clue what to do. Like he was just screaming for an hour and a half. Now, we're just used to it. You know, he could be screaming right now and we're both like, oh, that's good. He'll get over it. Last time we were like calling the hospital. We were like getting ready to leave. Blah, 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 blah. He just literally cried until he passed out. But we're figuring it out. He's almost 8 weeks this week, so thank you for everyone for bearing with us. I'm doing good. I play Quinn. He hates the Feywild, even though it's doing weird shit to him. But he's just getting to kill some monsters, so that's a plus for him.
Does he have any children that he either knows about or doesn't know about?
Quinn.
Five children.
Quinn is a game.
Quinn has very little romance or sexual drive. He is like he is focused.
Oh, okay. So he's a virgin. Okay, we got it. He's a virgin. Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll put that out there.
I can totally smell it. It's from a mile away.
Okay.
Oh,
And Biz
no.
Goes Illustrious Sex. Is that how we're going to start this episode? Is that
I've been around the block, okay? I got...
What time in Jamaica?
I went to Jamaica. You should... Yes, that's right.
This was the character development we waited 2 weeks for.
This is
That's
it.
right. This is what happens when you leave these two alone.
That's right. That's right, man.
It's all been bubbling, and now the
It's a
corpse is
different...
popping.
It's a totally different vibe there, okay?
Okay. And hi. Oh God.
Yeah.
And of course, joining us as per usual, hi Latreni. Let's get serious now because that was just
That's
ridiculous.
what his name is.
How are you today?
I'm good. Hello, I play Tisme, the Hexblood Twilight Cleric, who is enjoying the Feywild, thinks it's a great place. Is batting 100 in terms of not losing any appendages here, so that's pretty good.
Already better than your previous adventures.
Yeah, I'd say this place is pretty great.
Brilliant. Very good. Well, welcome everyone. Great to be back. Great to have everyone back. Sorry we've been gone for 2 weeks, but we'll get right into it very shortly. Before we begin, I do need to acknowledge the creatives and artists that we used for this session, particularly the incredible work of Darshan Pragnani for our character portraits. He's done some amazing work and continues to do some great portraiture that we can't wait to show you as it comes up. He's done an amazing little pic of Lieutenant Muzz, which I'm looking forward to. Please check him out at fragdar.artstation.com. There's also many wonderful artists around providing maps and sounds, including these ones for D&D, and we provide links to all of these Patreons when we upload the session onto YouTube. But first, I'd like to particularly say thanks to Sirenscape for creating the immersive sounds for this game that you can hear right now. Sirenscape have soundtracks for all the great published D&D adventures, or you can mix and match them like I have today. Today, I'm also trialing a little sound extension for Fantasy Grounds. We use Fantasy Grounds that link even more sounds to our game. So there are 400 sounds that I've got now that might pop up randomly on certain rolls for today. So it could be very silly. I apologize in advance. I don't exactly know what's going to happen as people press different buttons on Fantasy Grounds. So we'll just see what happens today. It could be very, very weird. The game is also using the diverse and ever-expanding spells, monsters, places, items from Fantasy Grounds, including a fantastic new book from Kobold Press called Vault of Magic, and Fey Touch is set in Kobold Press's World of Midgard and the Forest of the Avernus. So thanks, Kobold Press. They've got some really good stuff. I think that's all of my thank yous for today. Did I forget anyone?
No, I think that was spot on.
Awesome. Very good. Well, let's get a little bit of a changed soundtrack. And let's begin. Welcome, everyone. Rotha the River King. When last we met, our adventurers had been in the circle of the Oak King, deep within the Feywild, having come to the circle to warn the Oak King himself of the impending attacks and incursions by the Shadow Fae within the Oak King's realm. Esmeralda, I got to say, in a very touching exchange, I guess has won over the Oak King. Away from the distractions of, let's just face it, the rest of the group, she was able to speak alone with this archfey within his own realm, and warned him of Shadow Fae coming closer, warned him of the Shadow Fae that had influenced and overtaken the Rowan King's court, and warned him of a change in the natural order of things. The Seelie and Unseelie courts and their traditional handover from summer to winter, and handing over the reins of who would rule in the shadow in the Feywilds has changed. The Shadow Fae have influenced that, removing the Rowan King's importance and bringing forward the Birch Queen's Fair, the place where traditionally the reins of who would rule the Feywild is handed from the summer court to the winter court, the Seelie to the Unseelie. It was during that exchange that Esmeralda, I guess, I wouldn't say pledged fealty, but rather gave her word about protecting the grove and protecting the Feywild and standing against the Shadow Fae in an impassioned speech. And the Oak King himself had started to protect himself, bringing together the oaks into a dome of protective wood, intertwined leaves of these ancient oak trees. As Esmeralda left, she found herself in a very different place, well, not a different place, but a tumultuous events that were occurring around her. Time had gone a little bit strange, and as she left the Oak King's Grove, a storm had erupted across the forest through the Feywild, and strange creatures were attacking the realm of the Oak King. These hags that had burst from within the trees through these kind of horrendous growths, these cancerous welts upon the tree bark, had attacked the realm of the Oak King, including the creatures that lived there, the hedgehogs, the sprites, the smaller fey creatures that were making homes within the grove. And our group, I guess, having dispatched one of the hags within the hotel, the inn that they were staying at, ran to meet Esmeralda as she was fleeing or running from the Oak King's protective circle, only to encounter a massive monstrosity, this huge spider-like creature with tree trunks for legs that had remarkable balancing skills as you guys collapsed each individual leg from beneath it. You were, of course, assisted, saved, protected by a woodwode that you had just befriended, one of the protectors of the Oak King.
I was just trying to find his name. What was his name?
Alphonse.
Of course it was.
Alphonse the Woodwode, who had steadfastly and quietly protected you all as he attacked the creature. And of course, the boarman pig-like guy. What was his name? Donald? Dugan?
Dunleavy.
Dunleavy. See, keep notes, people. It helps. Dunleavy to protect this group. And in the midst of this fight, as things were getting a little bit out of control and hags were emerging from the houses above, from the trees above, reinforcements from a strange place emerged with a bright blue and white flashing light that was blinding everyone that could be seen. The forces of the Rowan King, the massive Centaur King, emerged within the Oak King's circle, streaming out into the Oak Grove to battle the forces of the Shadow Fae. At the head of this group, flying and showing a lot more magical prowess than when last she saw him, Dorian Astrum, Esmeralda's older brother, but they're all older. How do we describe this? Middle older brother?
He's middle older, yeah.
Leading the charge as the Rowan King's circle came to the defense of the Oak King. Surprised to see Esmeralda, Dorian continued to fly, arcing lightning bolt after lightning bolt into the trees above, dispatching these hags as he led the charge through the forest. Quite a big session, really, when I think about it. Did I miss anything? I think that's
actually an incredible recap.
Yeah.
I think that's right where we're at.
So when we join our group for this week's session, or session 6 of Wrath of the River King, the storm has abated. The rain continues to filter down, but the lightning has stopped. As you see the forces, the satyrs, the centaurs, there's a troll here, and other sprites, other fae, battling the forces of the Shadow Fae within the treetops above. Esmeralda looks up into the rain, and you see the flashing white light form of Dorian as he flies between each tree, continuing the combat. Below, at the foot of one of these massive oaks, over the corpse of this spider-like tree trunk-legged creature, Alphonse the Woodwode shakes his fist up to the treetops above. We rejoin our group in the rain in the middle of the Oak King Circle. What would you like to do?
We fight. Quinn is looking for a fight, so if we're in it, if there's something to go after, like there's a skirmish somewhere, he's joining in. He's a little confused because everyone looks like enemies now to him, but he can kind of pick out that, like the people that came from the blinding light. So if there's anything within, I don't know, like 200 yards, he is bolting and he is throwing knives as he goes. So
yeah, sure. Quinn immediately gets himself back into action, knives throwing, face stepping up into the trees above, and continuing to join the fray. But it's pretty quickly evident that the forces of the Rolling King will have the upper hand here. They're already starting the cleanup of these hags, with one hag emerging from each of the trees. It is relatively easy work for these combined forces, and soon enough, you hear the sounds of war cries of cheering from the treetops above.
So we ran up to the Oak King, right? Like it burst open, and we're like I'm within the Oak King's presence.
Not just yet. I guess you're still a couple of 100 yards away.
Okay.
You would have seen the interwoven wooden branches that formed the dome protecting the Oak King that had opened momentarily to allow these forces to come through. There's plenty of opportunity if you wanted to kind of do a dash to try and get into the circle before they close.
Good.
One thing you do see is one thing
I am like holding in my wounds.
Oh, you're beat up?
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened at the end of last.
This is the first time. Oh my god, everyone's really injured.
This is the most injured I've ever been. This is the most injured I've ever been.
Yeah.
I've never been. I hardly get. Yeah, this is by far the most injured I've ever been.
You're pretty bad.
But
Alphonse the Woodward looks particularly good.
The adrenaline wears off, and I'm like, oh, so much blood. I've never been hurt before.
If Tismay notices this, she'll reach
Godwin
over and cast Cure Wounds.
You see Godwin like just trying to blot, just totally ineffectually, just like poking. Ow! His scissors are still out. He's all worried.
With a bottle of iodine, yeah,
just pouring alcohol on my head. It burns.
No, go for it. Yeah, heal away. Fantasy Grounds is ready to go. Oh my god, here we go. Let's see what the hell this sounds like.
I need to.
Not bad. Where did that come from? It came from.
Very good.
Okay.
Oh,
Healing 15 health points. No worries.
Hopefully that helps. Yeah, sorry about the picking up and dropping earlier. A bunch.
Oh, that's right.
When the giant spider kept getting up and dropped.
You guys look at him, and he almost has like little tiny Godwins like circling his head still, as he's definitely got concussed.
I read all your damage came from falling.
Falling, that's right.
You just fell 4 times.
That's right. Thank you, Lorene.
Oh,
they got to a point where I didn't know if I should keep cutting you out of that thing because you kept taking like 3d6, but then you were getting pulled to this like toothy maw.
Are we going to go to the beach, or are we just staying at the resort?
That's. I don't know what to do about that. Tismay's gonna turn to Esmeralda because I assume people look good, like the Rowan King people. That they don't look like they're Shadow Fae, but she doesn't know what to do about it. She's gonna turn to Esmeralda and be like, do you know these individuals? Should we do something?
Yes, she'll point to Dorian. That's one of my older brothers. We're in safe hands.
Oh.
Yes, that's Dorian. He's one of 9.
9 brothers?
One of the 9?
All older.
Oh boy.
But that actually explains a lot.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Let's to arms. I'll just
Battle's
start firing.
won.
I'll start firing wildly at the enemies.
As I like come out of the trees, there's just shots like ricocheting up in the direction. Bisbo, what are you doing?
I got your back, brother.
I would drop like a dead electric hag. Is that what they were?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
for all intents and purposes, sure. Electric hag sounds great.
Sounds
That was
awesome.
my nickname in college too, in case anyone was curious.
Not totally nickname in
sure.
college.
Hey.
Should we head up there, or?
Seems like they're winning. I don't know.
We're winning. That's for sure.
We're winning, but the Oak King has already placed himself in his own protective circle. Let's talk to my brother. He actually would have a better idea of what's happening, and we can get a sense of what has happened since I've been gone. It's been a long time.
So the Rowan court hasn't fallen?
That's what I'm worried about. The Rowan court, I feel that it did fall, but it was managed to rally to get to the Oak King, but it still may very well be in shambles.
This is just the leftover, the people who got away. They are fighting the rebels.
As if to punctuate Esmeralda's statement, I guess, what you do see emerging within the bright white of the Oak King is a silhouette of what could only be described as a massive centaur. This creature is 14 or 15 feet high, and with it an incredibly large oaken club in both hands. This ancient-looking centaur is long grey beard sweeping down, gnarled horns that belie eons of age, and a huge mane of grey hair that merges in to the mane of the horse, and then down to the tail. He has a shaggy countenance as the Rowan King, I guess, emerges from within the dome. You can hear his voice thunder through the forest as he rallies. My creatures, to the king. And he turns to kind of enter back within that oaken dome, and you see that a number of bird-like creatures kind of flock around and then start to follow him. And then you see a handful, maybe half a dozen centaurs start to also join that parade of creatures that enter back within the Oak King's protective dome. There are a number of lesser fae here, though. There are sprites and satyrs and different groups, members of the Rowan King, that join the cheering. And for you, up the top of the trees, Quinn, you would see that there are a number of sprites that are clad in the autumnal colours that even yourself start to reflect within this space, and they're flitting around and kind of finishing off, pecking their ways at these lightning hags around you.
I just picture a bunch of like little corpses. They just run out and I keep going and go to the next one and just doing the
That's right.
the making sure they're dead stab.
And as you guys are kind of watching, the Rowan King's court members are joined by some of these bird-like avian creatures, the owls of the Oak King circle, the hedgehogs that roll themselves out onto the tree branches, and from various different places within these oak branches, musical instruments are procured. There are tiny little lutes and harpsichords and mouth organs and accordions are procured. And as you watch, a celebratory revel starts to emerge from the trees above. You hear the band start to pick up. You hear cheering start to happen. And from where you stand, you can already hear the raucousness of the pixie bar starting to kind of open up again once more at the bracken bough above you. It seems as though the serious fate, those of the Rowan King, have retreated back within the Oak King's circle. But for the common folk, for the lesser fae, it's party time as the early rays of dawn, I guess, start to encroach onto the day, because all this, of course, happened overnight as you guys were sleeping. You were roused from this sleep and into this battle. As you can hear the sounds of partying, of music, of dance, and of revelry start to kick up amongst the Oak King circle.
Is this normal?
Yes, very normal.
And what are those those centaurs?
Yes, actually. So the ones with the 4 legs are centaurs. The satyrs are the ones with 2.
They're much bigger than I thought they were from reading about them. You see Bisbo start to scribble furiously in a notebook that he has.
Well, the Rowan King is the biggest of them all.
Yes, but if they're on our side. Here, look at this. And you see, and it's this crude drawing of a centaur with a cannon mounted on his back, holding holding a control, just very crude. With their broad backs and their strong arms, they could carry ordnances very deep into enemy territory to take out the Shadow Fae. And then those owl folks, and then you see another thing of like owl folk, but they have bomb, like a bomb. What are those called? Like a bandolier, kind of, with like a device where they can pull them, and it just like. And look, they could be. This is amazing. If we had these kind of troops back in the kingdom, we can. I didn't know we had these type of combatants. We can take the fight to the Shadow Fae. Yes?
Bizzo. Okay. Take a breath. And it's very exciting to see centaurs and all of them for the first time. But they are not beasts of burden, and he would probably kill you if you made reference to the fact that he could be a beast of burden with carrying a weapon like that.
No, not a beast of burden. This would, unlike other, with normal men can only hold little guns. A centaur could hold a giant gun and shoot it, not as a beast of burden, as a soldier. Don't you see the possibilities? We can use this to beat the Shadow Fae. I throw up a little bit.
Can you make the throw up roll, please?
Okay.
Oh God, I hope there isn't a sound to this.
You set a sound to this?
I don't know. I hope not.
Blah!
You're +1. There is a sound.
Whoa, it vomited right now.
There was a sound.
Wait, was that the sound of... Hold on, I gotta see. Was that this sound, or what, did you set it? Oh my God, you did. You mad person.
It wasn't me. Like I say, I've downloaded this thing.
So it reads vomit? It reads vomit and then puts that? I gotta test it.
Based on what's in the
You
chat.
can't just download sounds and they randomly start working with vomit checks that don't exist.
Okay.
Oh God, I'm not doing it anyway. Stop rolling it.
Alright, I just have to make sure. I don't feel good. He sits down.
Probably for the best.
Yes, Bizzo, you should sit down. Well, that's that. And she'll turn to look at the others and, are you all right?
Yeah, overall.
Felt better.
I mean, Kisme, you're pretty badly wounded.
I know.
You noticed?
She's missing an arm. Never felt better.
Never felt better.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Nope. I lied.
I can see her, like, she said that, but she's discombobulated. It's very obvious that she's all right. So Esmeralda is going to just kind of step forward and will just, like, place her hands on either side of Tismay's face and press a kiss to her forehead and cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level.
Oh, wow.
So-
Damn.
Why did I ever get
The
killed by
fight's
that?
over, guys. The fight's over. We can just rest like normal people.
Right, is it good right this second? I mean, a bunch of people just came in. Like, Esmeralda's brother just showed up. Maybe.
What a roll, too.
Big deal. Good deal.
Oh wow! Thank you, Esmeralda.
Ooh.
While this is going on,
Healing 24.
I want to plop near Bisbo. Bisbo. That's a incredibly horrifying but detailed drawing that you did relatively quickly. Can you do me a favor and draw
You want a
this?
portrait of yourself together with me?
Not yet. We've other things first. First thing is that's Hag. Is the second one we've seen. Can you draw it? Can we start to create like a ledger for these things?
Oh, I've already been doing that. I have extensive notes on all the things that we've come across.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, are they in this?
James,
book
if I
also?
can. I mean, I'm assuming he's he's taking notes.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Pretty
his
litigious,
first whole,
yeah.
whole jam, isn't it?
Yeah.
To compile more information on the Shadow Faith, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Can we? Okay.
If we could get one of their bodies, that would be even better.
Okay, that'll be.
Why would you need a body?
To
Which-
investigate it?
It's, yeah, to learn more about these things, so that if we run into them again, we can better dispatch. I mean, we're seeing bizarre. You know, this thing came out of a tree. It like burnt and melted its way out.
Out of a boil. Out of the disease. Have you ever seen these before, Esmeralda?
I mean, emerging from trees is not exactly uncommon here in the Feywild.
It wasn't from a tree, though. It was from a disease that was put on a tree. Put in a tree.
So it moved to the corruption.
Yes, it used the corruption as a sort of conveyance, and I think there was spatial magic as well. So if we had the body, I can investigate it magically, and if somebody else wanted to. I was never very good at, you know, body mechanics, but Tisme, you're pretty good at medicine, right? Have you ever done an autopsy before?
An autopsy? I
Uh-huh.
mean, on a human,
What is an
no,
autopsy?
Oh, it's when you cut open a dead body to investigate it, how it died.
Why would you do that?
But done it with like small animals and stuff, not a human.
Oh, you did? Okay.
What?
What do you mean? You guys don't?
No!
Before?
Why not? How do you know if somebody gets killed?
Let's. Maybe we'll worry about this later, and I'll kind of like put some leaves on the body.
Is there, oh, you brought the
There's
body
still
down?
bodies,
You brought
didn't
the
they all
body?
like dissolve?
They all dissolve, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so-
So these
so
hags,
I
when
just
they die,
collected this
dissolve.
goo or something?
Is there goo?
Yeah,
Is there
you're just
goo?
carrying
You brought me
around
some
No,
goo?
there's a black kind of residue.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know what? I want that goop, man. You know, you brought
Yeah.
me some goop. I scooped that goop up.
Yeah, so just add,
ew.
I'll add
Look at it.
Ala goop to your inventory. Done.
Yes.
Can you just read a couple of the key items in your inventory that we just added over the course of the campaign?
You want to know?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I need a gem.
I'll just link the.
Yeah, just you know,
Okay.
just some of the maybe later. Maybe that'll be
I
a
have
fun
random
thing to do.
hag shit, random oak shit, random shellyback shit, random valuable animal pelts, a lot of gems.
Can I
That's
have
probably
a
the
gem,
weirdest
Bispo?
stuff. Want the gem?
Yeah,
What kind of what gem?
a shiny one.
Are these all worked gems, by the way, James, or are some of them like unworked? Are they all polished?
They're all unworked because you got them from the Shellyback shore.
Oh,
yeah?
okay. So
So
they're rough.
They're rough. Yes.
Okay. Well, none of them are that shiny now, but if you give me just like 10 minutes, I can.
No, it doesn't have to be shiny. Just one that looks like it's worth a little bit.
Oh, okay. What color are are Tisby's eyes? The non-milky one.
I think they're like a light brown, like a light
light
brown,
brown?
or hazel.
Okay, I'll get to garnet. I'll get to garnet out.
What color are my eyes?
Kind of quickly. I'll try to like chip away some of the I'll use my like tools to kind of just get some of the rock. I don't know how quickly. Can I just work this a little bit just so it's like gem and not like.
Yeah, sure. You're proficient in jeweler's kits, are you? Jeweler's tools?
Yeah, I'm double.
Yeah, no
proficiency.
problem. Easy. Yeah, no problem.
I'll hand you a garnet. And now, can I drag this? Can I drag a garnet to her sheet, or I have to get it to
the party sheet?
You got to go to the party sheet and
Okay.
back out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have the boar. I have the boar harness, so that should be. I'll drag that in. And then
Do you want to harness the gem to?
I just had the harnesses in my thing already.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let me move a garnet. So I just drag.
You go to the party sheet and the inventory,
sweet.
and then.
And it delayed it. Oh, cool.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's in there, and then I'm gonna drag.
And then
Good.
you drag it back to the inventory. That's
Yeah,
how we
nice.
share. That's how we share people in fantasy round.
Did we use that potion of healing?
well-
or no?
I love it. It's great.
No, we have one. We have one left.
While they're doing that, Esmeralda's actually just going to stand up and I'm going to find Dorian and we'll try to go find her brother.
Sure.
I'm with you.
It won't take long. In fact, as the celebrations start to continue, Dorian will come and find you. Alighting from one of the branches, his flight seemingly ending. Dorian touches down a few feet away from you. Nervously, almost self-consciously, I guess, having the adrenaline of this battle kind of kicking off. He almost shyly approaches you, clumsily. There's no big embrace. There's no kind of, big outward showing of affection. But, I mean, you can tell that he's very happy to see you. That he looks almost stern in some ways, in an outward show for everyone else around you. But you can tell you're so close to him that you can tell that he's excited. I didn't expect to see you here at all.
You should have. I told you I would come back.
It's been a long time. I figured
To
you'd
find a long...
fallen in love or some strange affectation. Discovered some kind of magic out there and decided to stay.
Fallen in love with the mundane? Dorian? That's rude.
You never know. You've always said you've been so interested in it. There was all these charm person things that you was able to do. You always. I figured that was what was going on.
That was not what happened, and you're wrong about all of that. I can't believe I missed you. And she's gonna look at him and go, how long was I gone? Out there it was only 7 days.
Time isn't time strange. We study this. It's there's a level of elasticity. When they start to name things in the mortal realms, they take the power. 7 days. Can't believe that you would even use such a term. Let me guess. The sun is setting, and you count them off, right? Is that how it's working now?
Esmeralda just sort of squinted at him, and yes, that's how time works, Dorian.
Well, I could say it's been a lot longer than that.
Well, I'm here now.
It's closer to a century.
I'm sorry, what?
Closer to a century, but that's fine. These things are but trifles. It's allowed me to extend my power somewhat.
That's... Are Mama and Papa okay? What about the others?
Dorian looks around the group and he, probably for the first time, kind of notices what you're all doing and what you look like.
Did you say a century?
Well, nearabouts. Yes, nearabouts.
Well,
I guess as you would name it. But of course,
But,
I don't
but
look any
Drake, but
different,
Drake,
neither does she.
Drake was taken into the shadow, but the shadow fade before Esmeralda came. That means it's been longer than a century.
Who's Drake?
Queen, do you think he could have lived that long?
It's well.
What? But that's the whole point of coming here, was to rescue him. Now you're saying it's been over 100 years?
We don't know that. The time is weird here, like they mentioned, right?
He starts crying. He's like big black eyes.
No.
Well, I struggled so hard to get here in time. It wasn't enough.
Dorian's been here for 100 years, and he's standing right in front of you.
She's a she. He's not a.
She's a she?
Drake is. Yes, he's a she.
Yes, I'm a she. It's common parlance. That's how we refer to each other.
What's Dorian
Little
look
one.
like?
Dorian's a very attractive-looking man. Oh, a she, an elf. He's got a bright white countenance, so he almost glows. You can see that there's a soft under blue tone here. He's wearing rich purples and blues, and you notice that there is a pendant here that is ensconced in a crystal that is ice-like. You can see that his large ears are kind of are well adorned with small amounts of jewelry. He's got long hair, but importantly, he almost squints as he talks. He's quite slight. He's not big in any way. In fact, I would say Quinn's rather bulkier than he's kind of he. It's almost as if he is a wind, a breeze in some ways as he walks. He's a very diminutive-looking male figure. Esmeralda's probably equal to him in stature and height. But he's still telling Bisbo he's a little one. I'm sure there's no concern. Drake's lived for many years.
No, that's his name. That's his name. He's a half-elf. I guess half-elves live longer than humans, right? But not.
I would just. So.
Half-elf. Why? Really? Half-elves? So these are things.
Yes,
yes.
It's a PI, okay? He's a private detective. A private dick. I don't know.
I'm sorry, Esmeralda. None of this is making any sense whatsoever.
Well, not to the rest of us either, so don't worry. He's had a lot's happened the past, yeah.
I just.
Godwin, could you fix what's something going on here?
As for mother and father, perhaps a quiet place, not so public. There are words. They're safe. Please don't get me wrong. They've joined the Summer King. They've left the court. Most have. I'm afraid to say the Court of Roses is one of the first to be abandoned. Most of us are. Well, none of us are home now. I'm sorry. This is a shock. Everything must be very new. You've only been back for how long? A year or so.
We don't put names to time.
Right.
Quinn!
And is this one of the? He points towards Quinn. I'm sorry. I've not been introduced. Dorian Astrum.
Quinn Otano, and I'll formal bow.
Servant of the Rowan King.
Servant to no king, as of a day ago, I guess.
Really? Which court do you help?
Kind of looks around. Then we're just helping whichever court needs it at the moment, I guess.
Esmeralda will step in, and he's from the material plane.
Really?
Quinn will come around.
I know.
Yes.
A returned one?
No.
Yes, okay.
First time.
In between sobs, I'm like, yes, he's a changeling.
The chart.
We already know it is, okay? Keep up, he's a changeling.
He looks
I-
rather concerned towards both Quinn and now to Tismay. Returned a kobold and a hag. Interesting company, sister.
The company that took down Omuerta, so, brother, a little respect.
You know of a Morte?
He's not the first. Others have returned. Those trapped on the other side. Those unable to return to the Feywild have been gaining access thanks to the Shadow Court. Are you sure you can trust these?
I have trusted them with my life many times over, and they have come through. I will not have their loyalty to my friends questioned.
Dorian looks at you intently, trying to work through whether you're telling the truth, trying to work through gazing. You sense a distance for probably the first time ever. That things have happened while you've been gone. Interesting. But enough. Of course. You trust. I thank you for safeguarding my sister. Thank you for bringing her here. This is a safe place within the Feywild once more. The creatures of the Shadow Court seem to have been thwarted for now.
Thanks to you and your troop or
dispossessed band of refugees. Is that what you mean?
You're with the Rowan King now.
Yes, when mother and father decided to leave for the Summerlands, I felt it wiser to stay and offer my assistance. The Rowan King was in trouble. Rowan King has been besieged in much the way as the Scarlet Queen was at home. But again, is there someone we can talk? I prefer not to be speaking like this out in the open. The ears of the Shadow Court are around.
Esmeralda will turn to the others and... Did you find a place?
Oh, yeah, we got rooms up above in the trees if you'd like to go there.
Back at
Nothing,
the
Dorian.
name of that tavern?
Enemies.
Brackenbow?
Brackenbow, yep.
Bow?
Do I know how long half elves live for at all? Do I have any idea, actually?
Oh yeah, you would know that they can certainly live past 100 years old. They can live up to 150 or so.
But
It
now
would be touch and go.
he disappeared from the Feywild like months before I met Esmeralda.
Yep.
Right?
I don't do that
Correct.
math.
So it could have been in those. It could be 400 or 500 years since he disappeared. If time works right as you think it does, and it might not.
But even like 150 years, he'd be dead. I mean, so he was already like in his 40s, 50s. So.
Yeah.
So Esmeralda would technically be 7 days old in Midgard time,
Baby.
by that logic. Well, she's gonna stop and just kind of squint in the Pixie Tavern.
No,
Close to it, close to the Pixie Bar, right around the corner. Take a right at one of the trees and go up. It's actually a bit of a blur. We had a little Pixie concoctions.
good thing you tried.
Godwin,
Bismarck,
you show them. Godwin will show. Godwin comes out and it's like, and kind of around you, Esmeralda, and like kind of picks your little shoulder. Not like hard. He doesn't have any strength, but he kind of is like leading. He wants to pull you to lead you to the hotel.
Right.
He'll put his hand on
Dorian.
Bismarck's shoulder and give him a little pat.
And Dorian, this is Godwin.
Intriguing. Familial. A familial connection.
Yes,
That's what I believe.
I do a familiar connection, but he's an artificial construct. that with an artificial spirit inside to help me with my work.
Just wailing the precise details of Godwin.
Yeah. He's a using this technique, and he was a hold on, where's my goddamn here it is.
And you
Gyroscopic oscillating dirigible quantum intelligence.
Amazing. And Dario, and he just blows, and you get a faint smell of incense, and swooping down from a tree above is a bright white with blue tinged plumage owl that kind of swirls around from a height and then lands on his shoulder. I see it now. How did you replicate this? And you say in the material realm.
Yes.
Bisso's understanding and use of magic is actually really fascinating. He's done it to a mechanical level. I knew that once you saw it, you'd be very interested in it, and I'm sure Bislo can share all those details later.
But why? Why go to such an extra step of complication? Why not just harness the basic weave and summon it into existence like we all do? It seems overly complicated, does it not?
Why decorate armor or add embellishments to gowns and dresses?
To signify which court that you have affiliated yourself.
Not just that, Dorian. It's the way magic is not one path for all. Everyone expresses it differently.
Well, is he like you? Are you like her? Where you just spontaneous magic and just things come out whenever you want them to without any discipline, training, or understanding? Is that what happens?
I'm the exact opposite. I didn't have education, and I can't hold spells in my head like the wizards, and they never showed me their books anyways. So I had to do it on my own. I just observed people and drank. Help me!
Breathe, Bismarck, breathe.
Quinn pointed to his name. This is the one that you want. That just does it randomly. Because you weren't trained. Oh no, you were trained, I guess, by Romilly, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of it. The hag stuff, maybe
Yes.
not so much.
Yeah, not so much the hack stuff, but
She'll just, Esmeralda will just kind of shake her head, and he's learned on his own. That's an impressive feat enough. Even you have to admit that.
Intriguing. Yeah, yes, of course.
You are a student of the weave?
Yes.
Can I look at your books? Can I look at your books?
You have to learn Sylvan first, Bisbo.
God damn it. When am I going to learn Sylvan?
Do you say "God damn it" in Sylvan? Just checking.
Oh, no.
Yeah, sure.
I see. For any apprentice, as you would know, wizards' books are safely guarded. Not something we would just share willy-nilly to anyone, particularly an untrained, unordered.
Perhaps an exchange.
I'm just interested in how you do ritual magic.
No, but you have done it, little one. How else do you summon what do you call this? A godwin? How do you do that?
The Godwin, technically, is the correct article.
Oh, it's its name. I thought it was
Mhm.
like the description of the creature.
It's really
It's
all.
called-
Give these things names.
yeah, all of the above.
Wow. Do you name all of your things?
Do I?
Yes, you absolutely do. You absolutely do.
he might notice a turret on my shoulder that's smoking a cigarette and like put
Yes.
a beret on.
Of course.
You just flashed through all of the names that you've done. You know what? I'm gonna cut them. I'm gonna cut every description you've had. You said do that. And I'm gonna create that video like, do I? And then I'm just gonna play them all.
Well, it's not spells, so. Anyways, you guys can go to the hotel room
Where are you going?
Well,
to get a drink.
Maybe we'll grab give you guys some privacy, and we can round up some drinks and some food and meet you there.
Of course.
Dorian, what do you drink?
Well, and he looks up. It's morning. Wine. Something of that nature.
Quinn looks at Esmeralda and just walks away. 2 wines. I'll get you a wine. And some food.
I don't.
No, I should get the wine because the pixies hate you, Queen, and they love me. So I will get the alcohol, me and Gizme.
No, I don't think I should go back. I
They
think
don't like.
it didn't have
Oh,
the best impression last time.
Really? Yes, Esmeralda, I made
Quinn they
friends.
liked.
All
They
Huh?
thought Quinn was a prince or a lord or something.
They were
It's
drunk.
adorable.
They were very
Oh.
drunk.
Okay, that's.
Still, it's a good reputation.
Not gonna complain. Not gonna complain, I guess.
You head back towards the bracken bough with Dorian in tow, I guess walking arm in arm with Esmeralda. You see Cianag, the small bird-like sprite that came to your, I guess that came with a level of warning to the rest of the forest, streaming ahead towards the oak. A lot of her or his flithideer companions, and flithideer are these kind of gorgeous little bird-like creatures that are flitting around, have now reformed back into their fey-like form as opposed to a bird, and you can hear the cacophony of their chirping and chittering, and with the dawn-like, it's pretty intense sound as you move to the bow. You see that the rope ladder has been lowered towards the bottom, and a number of Fae are kind of climbing up through the rope ladder to join the revelry, I guess, at the Pixie Bar. Dorian puts a hand out to Esmeralda and says, "Please, shall we?" And you see his feet start to levitate off the ground, as if to just kind of float his way up towards the treetops, taking Esmeralda with him and leaving the 3 of you firmly in the ground below.
Sorry, guys.
Bisbo, shall we? And I'll reach my hand out and then promptly grab the rope and start to climb.
I thought we were gonna fly there.
I'll hold your hand for a moment, and then we just never leave the ground, and then we both have to start climbing.
Yeah.
Cue the romantic music.
Can I just Yoda on Luke Skywalker?
Aren't you like 300 pounds?
Yeah.
I'm pretty heavy. I do have a lot of stuff on me.
And in true this group's form, no one's got a strength over 10. So it's like every...
No, yeah, we do. Me and
I have a flat 10.
Yeah, I have 12.
Oh no, 13. Oh, I died.
You're the buffest, and then I'm behind you at 12.
Mine, I had incredible stat roll, so I don't even know. It should be somewhat normal.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm still not. No, you collect junk. You're gonna have to learn to deal with the consequences, which is moving and climbing. I'll carry like
Invent something.
El Fuego.
It's
Oh,
fine.
you could invent something. This gun, I aim downward.
You hike your way and climb your way up to the bow, and you see that there's a very much a party going on. It's spilled out beyond the Pixie Bar. You see Connell here, the eagle, the owl-like creature that initially kind of that joined you. Lots of these pixies, lots of these kind of fey creatures enjoying themselves on the bow. You head to the Pixie Bar, and it's hard to say, like it's a weird thing to describe, but it's wall to wall lined up at the bar with lots of pixies kind of waiting. It's jam-packed. There's a definite revelry going on. And what you notice is that there are pixies, brownies, sprites here, not just from the bar, but you see that it's almost like an exchange going on where members of the Rowan Court, members of the Oak Court are mingling, fast friendships reforming. It's obvious these people have known each other before, so you get that sense you know, kind of an international delegation coming together for the prosperity of all kind of vibe of Fey creatures as they pack the bar for the first session, if that makes sense. For Esmeralda and Dorian, I guess, Esmeralda, this is the first time you've been here. It's a beautiful open air hotel, it's a better way to say it. Each of the branches of this huge oak tree are being used as pathways and corridors as people move between room to room of these domes made of bracken being woven in beautifully. The whole area is lit up by scintillating fireflies that bathe the entire space in a beautiful glow. And in the dappled early morning dawn sunshine, it has this beautiful hue of orange and red of autumnal leaves. There's a definite smell of petrichor, of the decomposing leaves, and already you can smell the fires that are burning as people are kind of preparing their breakfast. The rooms that the group have been appointed to are quite nice. They're lovely beds and bits and pieces, but already you can see out the front of the rooms are the hallmarks of the skirmish. You can see that there are blackened trunks where maybe some of Bisbo's explosions have gone on. You see that there are slash marks that a dagger might have accidentally missed, and an oily residue where this hag had come to no harm. Dorian looks at the evidence of what's going around. Ayla hags. Would be any crueler revenge against natural forces of the Oak King.
Seems like my friends did quite the number.
They were.
I was able to get the warning to the Oak King in time, thankfully.
This establishment is lucky to have had them. These creatures are evil, foul, and would have swept their way through the night. It was lucky that they were awake. And unlucky that this had happened so long ago. These creatures are seeded many months ago, bursting forth when they come. It looks as though this court has been infiltrated as much as my own, as much as the Rowan King's.
What are you doing with the Rowan King?
He was still there to stand. The rebellions had only just started when the Rose Court of Roses, fell. The servants had only just disappeared. The guards had only just started to rebel. I knew it was just a matter of time. I decided to stay, help as much as I could, provide as much advice as I could.
And you serve as an advisor to the Rowan King?
I have pledged fealty. I have taken his badge.
And mother and father have gone to the summer court. And what of the others? This Alfei and Eldring, they had families.
A couple have stayed. I know they were reluctant to leave the home. Alfei stays at our house, deep within the Court of Roses, although the shadows grow even stronger, but he refuses to leave. Eldraine joined the Summer King. He's taken a position there. He'll do well. The twins are roaming, travelling as they will. Last I heard, they were going to head to the Birch Queen's fair, see what they could do. Philip,
That's
Shay,
the case.
Ambrose.
Shay and Ambrose are where?
Shay and Ambrose, with mother and father for now. I know Philip and Tristane were looking at heading to the mortal realm.
For what reason?
gather more
Not if-
information.
They weren't coming after me, were they?
Well, they said not, and I don't think so. We're going to a city, Raywald.
Raywolf.
Do you know this place?
My companions might. It feels familiar, but they would know more. They live there. They know the conflicts and what's going on, and oh no. Oh, they're hunting fey creatures. That's why we came back here. If they're caught, they'll be used in this material plane war. Interesting, only needs a pretty face before he gets caught anywhere. Oh, why would anyone let him leave?
He's fine. He has the duomas, the glamour. He can disguise himself as other things.
Yes, he has the glamour, but he has no brains.
No, well, yes, of course, but he's lucky. And he's always wanted to experience the mortal realm. You know him, he's a hedonist. He'll be fine. It's the wine cellars and the bed linens that might suffer more.
And you were worried about me out in the mortal plane.
Well, yes, we were. I mean, you were very headstrong and, how do I put this? A little more naive. Maybe not so much anymore.
Glad you recognize it. I am not naive. That was a lie.
But either way, it looks as though this court will be the third to fall. The third of the summer courts to fall under the sway of the Shadow Fae. Or at least until we arrived. But this won't be the last time.
No.
This won't be the end time.
No, we need to start meeting with the members of the Unseelie courts. I'm not sure they fully understood what they signed up for. I think that they have been taken in on a false promise. They have been promised power. But that goes directly against why the rebellions began in the first place.
It may be too late. I've heard rumors. The talk has already happened. The Moonlit King may have already fallen under the spell. Have you heard of Philemora? Philemora Gladrian?
I have.
The mistress of the court of Midnight Teeth.
I believe so. My mind is all fuzzy at the moment. That is... I know I've heard of her. I'm just I'm very tired, Dorian. I've been speaking for hours with the Orc King and trying to get this all together. What of her? While you talk, I will attempt to remember.
It's believed she first infiltrated the Moonlight King, the Unseelie Court. It is why they're not standing. It doesn't seem as though they are. It doesn't look as though they're putting up any shadow of defense whatsoever. The Birch Queen, the River King. They're allowing them to travel within their lands, within their realm.
Now, why would that happen? If the but there have been checks and balances to keep things like this in place.
As you can tell me, the River King was the first. Some slight, something has triggered him. He's readying forces, beginning a war, sending Fae to the mortal realms.
To the mortals?
You know what has happened there?
Yes, we closed that road. We closed that road. We entered, we found a way to close the road.
He's found another one. hags, Merrow, Shadow Knights descend across the mortal realm. We know he's raised an army of sorts. Do you know why they've affronted him so?
I mean, the only thing I can think of is the fact that those in the village have forgotten the promises they've made to the Fae in the time that they've been alive. Hang on. I remember there was an Eladrin as well. When I was in the village outside of the Fae Road that I exited from, there was an Eladrin at a mill, but she didn't seem to know. When I brought up our home, she seemed not to know. I can't think of anything else that would have upset him so to attack the mortal realm. Has any word come through?
Nothing. All we know is the rivers have flooded. I'm surprised it hasn't come this way as well. And hags grow in power. There was a coven. Muerta, Jenny Greenleaf, and a third emerging. That's what we'd heard.
Well, Amorta is dead. We saw to that. So that just leaves 2 more of these hags.
Dead, as in completely destroyed.
Yes, as in completely destroyed.
That would anger him even more.
Well...
And you did this?
Yes, she'd allied herself with the Shadow Fae.
Right. Well, tell me. What magics did you use?
Well, and she will just begin to just tell him I found that fire magics worked well as, and I've recently found a way to bind the magic of the Feywilds to myself and make my spells stronger. And I wasn't alone in this, obviously. You've met the returned Quinn. Wouldn't go as far to call him a returned one. He's probably going to leave here as fast as he possibly can. He was a major help, as was Bisbo and Tismay. This was not a me alone effort.
So when you say bind power, like you just think this and it just happens? How do you channel this?
So when I used to think of when I was little and I would drape mother's blanket over me and pretend it was a cloak. I thought of that once, and it gave me this mantle of roses that I can use to charge up any of my spells that have elements to them. So fire is the main one.
You've created a spell, summon Huggy Wuggy. Really?
That's the best way I can describe it. I don't know what it's an emotional thing. I don't have to go into technicalities. Magic is me and I am magic.
Show me.
I can't. I'm tired, Dorian.
Oh.
We faced off against a giant wooden spider. I'm tired.
Of course, I've probably taken too much. We've been traveling all night, but well rested before we came through the portal. Where's that wine?
It's coming, I'm sure, but oh dear. So there's probably going to be no treating with the River King. How goes that plan?
Oh.
I had hoped that perhaps he could see that Omorta looked to unseat the very power that he has. That's what the Shadow Fae are trying to do. That's what I don't understand.
But that's the thing. The Birch Queen, the River King, they seem to revel in it. The Unseelie Courts are... I'm not sure what the promise is. It could very well be the non-transfer. And that's what we were most concerned about. If the old king, the Summer Court, via the Rowan King, hand over the rulership of the Fae to the Seelie, as we must, what if they never returned?
And what has Sarastra said to all this? This is her kingdom too. Where is she?
Gone.
What?
Retreated into the Summer Court. Fled the field.
So she's just left her husband to just run things?
She hasn't been heard of for a long time. My apologies. I mistook the Summer Queen and the Unseelie Queen. Sorry. No, she just hasn't been heard of. She hasn't fled the field. She hasn't been heard of for some time.
No.
No one has seen her from the Court of Night. Just the Moonlight King now speaks.
We need to talk to Tisme. Because Tisme has spoken with her. Okay, so you're saying is the Alorian and the Birch Queen are both basically using this as an opportunity to gain more power. And now he's turned his armies towards the mortal realm. Okay. Maybe if we can fix this slight, if we can figure out the slight and fix this, he may start to see reason. We also need to understand what he was promised.
Yes.
And no Lady Mara Silk or the Archmagus at all? None of them?
Nothing. The Ardness is abandoned. Perhaps in the realms of the Margrave, further within the Summerlands, but not here. This Tisme, this hag. You trust her?
I do.
Really?
Most of the time.
And I mean really. And Muerta, Jenny Greenteeth have been at the forefront of the River King's wrath. They've spoken of a third. Is it her?
No. I don't believe so. Let me tell you, Omerta had tried to recruit Tisme into her coven, and Tisme resisted. And it was due to, I believe, Sarastra's intervention that she stopped her from joining Omerta. I believe Sarastra and Tisme are connected somehow. And if that's the case, she's still... then not all hope is lost.
There may be some more. Meanwhile, outside at Pixie Bar,
All right, you know.
Tisme is standing back a bit. Go on.
Just start shaving Silver off, right? I'm assuming Bispo's crying still, so he's not gonna do it.
No.
And just
He'll do it. He'll do it if you ask him to. He just is like, he's so crestfallen. Like he's just like it's like automatic. He's just here you go.
Bispo, I mean, time is really weird here. And who's to say that he's even here? He could have went maybe back to the material plane, back again. Snip, snap, snip, snap. We don't know.
I mean, but the chances are they haven't. Jaunty is music.
Jaunty, you.
The chances are, and even if time is timey-wimey, it's been at least 100 years, at least. It has to be more than that. Just seems like all that effort was for nothing.
But do you even age at the same rate in the Feywild? Do we know that?
Centaur looked.
Wait, I look up at you. I like grab a red. I don't grab a red pixie. I'm like, yo!
Yeah. Sorry, who are you grabbing?
Just some random pixie.
Maybe not
Oh, right,
grabbing,
okay,
like,
yep.
like pointing to.
Like yo!
The kobold reaches out.
I don't grab him. I'm just like, hey! Do immortals age normally here?
Well, you tell me. You're the mortal man. Is this a joke?
Is it funny?
Oh, I don't know. Is this like two mortals walk into a bar and one mortal says to the other, "Hey man, do you age normally here?" And the other one says, "How would I know? I'm a pixie." Is that?
Drake would have loved that joke.
Here's a slice of silver to this gentleman pixie that came up. Thank you, sir. It is a joke and it's terrible. How about a round of? Let's just everyone. There's a ton of people here, right? Just gonna start shaving. Just shaving silver off.
There's a mosh going
Making
on.
it rain
Totally.
of just silver everywhere, right? Like just rounds of
Nectar all around.
Do you guys?
Can I consort my book and actually see if there's anything about mortals aging in the Feywild and that kind of stuff?
Yep. Consult the book with an Arcana check.
Okay. Can I electrocute myself?
Yep.
Oh.
Right. Let's read the book.
The pain hides the pain. Which one do I click? Both of them?
Both of what?
Except
that one.
wit.
Yep, that's the one you want.
Okay.
Yep. The other one's only if you're planning to use it later. Like if you want to concentrate on it for a number of rounds until it kicks in. That's a great roll. 27.
Jesus.
You watch as Bizzo just starts to work through his journals. As the two of you, I guess, are almost ignored by him. He's turned away from the conversation and just starts to research.
Pixie's
it doesn't take
horrified
long.
as he just electricity like comes over. It happens pretty frequently. Maybe two rounds for you, sir. Thank you for all of.
There are plenty of stories about mortals coming to the Feywild and effectively being there for hundreds of years. But it's hard to tell. They've then returned to the mortal realm and it's been 100 years past. So whether they aged normally or not, really difficult to say.
Kind of reads this. He kind of looks up at Tismay. I guess it is possible that he's still around, or I guess I shouldn't despair so much, right? We still have to take the fight to those.
Yeah, you've made it this far. What's the point in giving up hope now?
All right, Tismay. What is the point? We've come this far. We're best friends,
Sure.
and we've said it before. And you're right. You're right. We just have to keep going. We have to bring the fight to this butthole Shadow Fae, and maybe he's not come, maybe he's not, but I shouldn't worry about it until we're there.
We don't.
Yes, Tismay.
Yeah.
I grab it. Yes. And I kind of go for a hug. Like I'm trying to go for a hug, but I don't really know how.
Tismay's not going to realize that you're trying to do that at first, and it's just like awkwardly.
So awkward, yeah. This is the most awkward.
Know what's going on.
And I have like so many devices. It's so pointy and like kind of painful. Like
It's just super awkward. Just eventually, just kind of like
horrible.
awkwardly put an arm around and just like pat.
Okay,
Oh, hug.
okay. Let's bring them the drinks, and then we'll make a plan to bring maximum carnage to these Shadow Fae bastards.
Oh, I mean,
and you hear an eruption of cheers from the pixies. Yeah!
Yes! we will rain down fire and explosives on their stupid heads!
We'll tie their shoes together.
Yes, we'll do that! And I will arm these centaurs with giant death cannons!
no, okay, and I'm pulling it.
We'll make
We're
them
dragging it.
sour.
Get him out! Get him out!
Yep.
We'll replace their shoes with wood.
Oh, just really G-rated that guy.
Yeah.
Is there wine around here?
Sure, yeah. I mean, they're small wines, but they're...
I'm gonna order as many as I can for 1 silver and combine them into one one actual wine as best as possible.
What you see is these small pixies there's casks. There's kind of casks yay big that would sit behind that they're pouring most of the liquor out of. So it wouldn't take much just to pick up one.
Yeah, I'll ask, of course, responsibly,
Of course.
making sure that I paid and kind of just.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
2 silver for a cask of fairy wine. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And then some. Well, I mean, small drinking glasses, I guess, and I'll bring these back in the morning. Just like a little. I don't know. I guess we can just sip off the cask. Maybe we'll pass the cask.
Yep.
Mhm.
Y'all's goodie bag, as we call it in Australia, as you move back towards the room. Sure.
It's good to see you sticking with it, Bismo. And look, we don't accept conclusions without testing our hypothesis, right?
Sure.
Yes.
Also, the Feywild has proven to be all kinds of weird shenanigans thus far, so we have literally no idea.
He might be younger. Might be a baby when you find him.
True. Why not?
What?
Cool.
You don't know.
A baby?
Sounds fun. That would
Okay,
be
now you're just pulling. There was nothing in my research that said anything about that. But I mean, there is anti-aging magic, but that would be very specific. I don't see why the Shadow Fae would do that too. It seems like I just got going off
You
on
just
how
go on
that's
a
so
tangent,
improbable.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the 3 of you make your way with the cask of wine back to your rooms, effectively, in Esmeralda. You hear the... are you knocking or are you bursting in? What do you do when you arrive back in the room?
You probably
The
hear us
percentages
coming.
of that would be
Yeah.
you have to this quantity amount of energy
Yeah.
to even try to do that. I mean, even with the chaotic nature of the Feywild, you guys are just walking beyond me. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
No, just
You
We
the
hear
chatter
them
and the knock.
coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah, for sure.
Esmeralda will stand and open the door and
Ah,
hello all. Yes, the wine. Thanks.
Hello, Esmeralda, and hello, Esmeralda's brother. I have recovered from my sadness, and now I am ready to bring a bunch of kick-ass to the Shadow Fae.
Oh, we're at that point in the day, are we? Okay.
Quite a recovery.
Mm.
Outstanding.
He processes things
Yeah.
very quickly.
I feel let's not say an apology. Our new welcome, Esmeralda, has explained how you managed to destroy a Muerta.
Can I go up to him? And I want to try to do the proper fake reading that I've been taught.
Yep.
Do I do it or
This
is
is
it a
a
roll?
straight charisma roll for me, please.
Oh, god damn it. It still has that D4.
Ah!
Why does it have
Because a blessing. It's still blessed from
bless.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So that was a 4, so it's an 11.
That's not bad. 11's still pretty good. He's.
I think I say it properly, but then I
Yep.
kiss his hand.
Yeah. No, 11's still fine. Like 11's good.
And it's- but it just like-
you act
Yeah,
like
but
a
I-
commoner, but that's okay.
I kiss his hand. I mean, that's not rude, right? It's just like I'm a kobold, so it's very teethy.
Yeah. Ow.
He's working
Very good attempt. Yes, you'll be a servant in a court within no time.
Oh yes, I am a servant of the Rose Court.
Pardon me. What?
Esmeralda knighted me in the Rose Court.
I did not. I said you could help me in
Did
the Rose
she?
Court.
Proper
Really?
knight of the Rose Court.
Esmeralda.
I even made this emblem. You see, like, it's an emblem of like my face with like a roses around it on a piece of wood.
Esmeralda's going to look to Quinn, and Quinn,
Mm-hmm.
I fire a spell at you, you throw a dagger at me, let's put ourselves out of this misery, please.
You did this, so
I did not do that.
you did. Dorian, wine. Sorry,
Thank you.
It's a pixie bar, so.
Well, pixies make some rather interesting drops.
Potent stuff.
Have you felt anything since?
Yeah, I lightheaded and oddly a bit at ease actually for once in a while.
You mentioned your little turn the last time that you earlier in the evening, and you'd had a little too much, and you'd kind of started to get a little scintillated.
Did I mention it? No, because I returned to my compatriots destroying the pixie bar. So
that's true.
I believe that any it was snap back to reality, I think, by the time I got back up there. So trying to mend relationships. But Quinn acts like looser. He just seems a little more at ease, especially maybe getting some frustration out on some stray evil fae. So the Rowan court, and he's kind of looking at like Dorian and Esmeralda, is responsible for the handover of the summer to winter and winter to summer. Is that the?
Well, yes, there are two courts, the Rowan Court and Court of the Birch Queen. Normally, the Rowan Court would herald the autumnal transition.
To
Birch
the
Queen.
Birch Queen is the opposite.
Well, to the Unseelie Court. The Birch Queen is the opposite side of that equation, and so both herald in the changes of the guard, the changes of the season. Generally done at the Birch Queen's Fair.
And who is the first court to be attacked by the Shadow Fae?
My home, the Court of Roses.
Our home, the Court of Roses.
The Court of Roses. And where does your Court of Roses? How powerful are you in the summer faction?
Well, we like to think that we held our own. Scarlet Queen is a very wise and powerful servant of magic.
But you're not the most powerful.
Well,
Or
the Summer
influential.
King is the most powerful. Within the Arboness, I would like to say the Roses held the most sway of the Seelie courts. Would you not agree, sister?
They did. They did.
And the Arboness is this part of the Feywilds.
This forest. Yes.
And the Arbor King and the Oak King all reside here too.
Yes. And the Birch Queen, River King, all within the Arboness.
So the Shadow Fae have focused their efforts on the Arboness specifically.
I believe so. That's hard to say. We've not heard really the others. Sorry.
She'll turn to Tisme and ask, has Sarastra spoken to you or reached out to you at all? Since the last time? Since Omorta?
I mean, I pray to her every morning before we start our day, but in terms of having a really deep commune with her, I haven't had anything specific recently, no.
Sarastra is the queen of the Unseelie courts, and she is, well, she's disappeared. No one has heard from her. And I know that you did, though, during the fight with Umberta.
Yes.
So I was just curious to see maybe if you'd managed to make contact with her at all.
Be an interesting thing for Tisme. Tisme, you're a cleric. Sarastra is a god, not a fae, not a queen of.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yes.
Yeah. Just there's a difference here. I guess it's subtle, but maybe not.
How does? You said she's disappeared.
Yes,
No one's
Sarastra. No one has heard from her. Her husband has taken to ruling the unseelie courts, and he has been tainted by the Shadow Fae.
How? I'm sorry. It's still a little new to the whole Fae thing. How does a god just disappear from everyone's radar?
Well, perhaps not disappear. She hasn't been seen outside the Winter Palace for years, decades,
By anyone?
before all this started. Sorry, I missed that, Latrine.
By anyone. She's been.
Well, by members of the Seelie, the Summer Court, we've not heard, we've not seen. The Winter Courts may have. She may very much be alive. She may very much be there. She's not shown herself for some time.
Is she someone you would regularly just see walking down the street? I don't think.
Oh, of course not. The Moonlit King and the Winter Queen, the Duchess of Heavens, barely walks the streets.
So is it really so strange?
Perhaps
They
form of
haven't even-
functions or something.
Actually, exactly, Quinn. That's exactly that.
I guess. I mean, again, I don't know much about how all of this works, but I've certainly felt her presence. Not that I understand how time works in the mortal realm versus yours, obviously, but
And of course, hags will often commune more with Her Majesty more than others. We know her gets the power directly from.
yes.
Perhaps this is not unusual if Amwerta, Jenny Greenleaf, Tisme all channel her energy a little more acutely than the rest of us.
She is also a goddess in our plane. And Tisme's magic seems to be divinely based.
She is a goddess, yes.
Well, if you need any more evidence that she's still here, you can look at the stitches on Bisbo's arm. I mean, Tisme used magic not more than a couple hours ago to put Bisbo back together, so what other proof do you need?
Are any other Fae heralded as deities in the mortal realm?
Perhaps. I mean, it's a fine line between Fae, Archfae, of which a warlock would become a patron of, and a deity. You know, the Oak King could be considered the god of forests or god of oaks. It's a depending on, and I guess look, you've got a reasonable religion. I guess depending on the primitiveness of the culture, many would see a Fae as being a god. As they appear, you know, you can very well imagine a farmer in a field stumbling across the Oak King and venerating oak trees for the rest of his life, building churches to its name.
And Sarastra has a following.
Oh, very much.
Plane.
Yep.
So it's belief. So it's almost, she has two aspects to her, and maybe they. Divine magic is always interested me, but I don't understand it. But it seems like belief is a big component of it. So, Tisme, your connection with her could be a different aspect or something. I don't know, but it is strange.
Essentially, I can't claim to understand the differences between my connection with Sarastra and whatever it is that you, Esmeralda and Dorian, are trying to explain, but I feel her, I've experienced her. She's still around in whatever form you're trying to describe. I don't know about that, but
Esmeralda will pick her head up, and I think Sarastra may have been cornered in an area where she may not be able to do anything. That's why she's acting through Tisme.
Hypothesis. The
Sarastra
weave has
was
been
not.
unaffected, though. Sorry, please continue.
Esmeralda will turn to Tisme, and Sarastra wasn't upset with you when we killed Omorta, was she?
not as far as I could tell.
I mean, she would have probably severed all connection if that were the case. But yet you continue to grow. So I think Sarastra is acting through Tisme.
Yes. If she's upset with me, I imagine she would have made that much clearer.
Oh, she would
Possible,
have.
at least.
We were communing with her just immediately before the destruction
Yeah.
of Omorta. Yep.
Oh no. Looking through my notes to try and remember something.
Yeah.
You told us a little, but you told us a little bit about it afterwards, right? About what happened with you.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you telling us something.
Yeah, I think there was a little
After.
discussion before Tianan's funeral. I think there was a bit of a chat there. Yep.
It kind of seemed like her power was available to anybody who venerated her, and she's kind of doesn't care, right? Who, as long as you. But Esmeralda seemed like sorry. What was the hag's name again? I just totally blanked. Omorta seems like her magics were very different from Tisme's. And she was trying to change Tisme into her type of understanding of.
I'm not sure how different. Omorta was. I mean, hags in general are often followers of Sarastra. So in that sense, Omorta might not be that different. But if I remember, was Sarastra a follower of Galadriel?
Omorta was a follower.
Sorry, Omorta. Sorry, I meant to say
Falamara
Omorta.
Galadriel. Yeah.
Okay.
But wasn't Omorta's magic didn't seem divine, right? When I did a lot of identifying her whole flavor.
No, it was very, very ritualistic, almost wizard-like, where there's the recipes and cauldrons and components to it. It was far more than channeling a divinity.
Yeah, that's what I mean, is that your connection to her seemed different, and Huerta was trying to change you into her type of magic, and then using you in the power of threes and magic amplification and all that stuff, in that kind of connection. But it was different. Your magic is different. Your connection seems to be different than the hags.
True. I mean, Omorta was also trying to use me to increase her own power, so
Yes.
I'm not sure.
But to increase her power, to use you in that way, you would have to be in the same type. You know what I mean? For magic amplification, when you use multiple things, they have to resonate. And as you were, there was no resonation.
He really is quite extraordinary, isn't he? The things that come out, quite brilliant.
Told you he's brilliant.
I know. Very, very different in the way that
who are you talking about?
Bispo?
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, he is.
The concept of
Just-
channeling and ritual is very firm in your belief and your understanding. I'm very impressed. You've not trained. Quite extraordinary.
I mean, I had to fix the shit machines in the sewers, and once you understand the mechanics of that, you know, magic flow. It's like anything. It's like the flow of shit is the same as the flow of magic. It's just how you channel it.
There it is. That's what we're looking for.
And while the shit, the gases of the shit are combustible, and sometimes it's like you do with pressure. So just like magic, you do with pressure and resonation and offshoots, and two things. If you have a catalyst with one thing, another thing, and it explodes. Just like
I blame
shit.
you, Jared, on this, by the way. You said, can you design a toilet? And this is what we get. This is
Well, no, I'm from the sewers, though. That's where he started. He got his start in the sewers, literally fixing the kingdom's, shit handling their sewer management.
As Bispo's just getting way too detailed in sewer management. I'll look at Dorian. So what's next for the Rowan Court and the Court of the Oak King and the Court of Roses? Like, do you just mount defenses over and over until?
Well, I can't speak for Curon, but we need to influence the Birch Queen. If we can delay the handover, if we can delay the change, if the Holly King doesn't take ascension with the seasons, if the Moonlight King does not take the rulership of the Sealy courts, we may be able to hold them. May be able to lessen the Shadow Fae's grasp.
We do that. If just reaching her is enough, or
No. I think in order for us to get to the Birch Queen to an understanding, we're going to also have to bring the River King into an understanding.
Well, Curon wants the River King dead, of course. It's the Birch Queen's fair. If we can win the Birch Queen, we'll be able to hold on. Every year, the Birch Queen's fair, the Queen picks a champion, a consort. For the year. Of course, when she picks her consort, she provides a favor. You can win her hand. You can ask for a favor.
It's a big favor.
I know the Rowan King is looking for it.
so we all into the fair and try to be our consort.
If only it was that easy, one or more. Generally, each court can nominate a knight, a champion, one who could represent the courts at the fair.
Are you looking to be put forth?
I would take that honor for Curon if he asked that of me.
What kind of competition is it?
All manner of feats. Dance, poetry, archery, wooing. You just have to gain her favor.
They're knife throwing.
But
No, normally it's traditional with bows, but if you could hit over distance, I don't think she would quibble.
the problem is the wooing, Bisbo. And she's going to kind of give Quinn a look, and he'll end up insulting her.
How did I get? Why am I being nominated?
No, Bisbo was attempting to push that narrative forward.
Has the Oak King a champion?
I don't believe so.
Can the
Esmeralda, you're good at wooing. I saw lots of people falling over you and asking to take you on a dates. And could you woo her?
Well, you see, no. I don't normally do the wooing. Someone usually woos me. It's complicated. I'm too pretty for wooing to woo. But what are
Dorian
you
gives
getting
you
at, Dorian?
Dorian gives you a bit of a cheeky look. Of course, none of the brothers here.
Where's
None of
Tristan
your
when you
brothers are
need
here.
him?
Well,
And
yes, but the Court of Roses doesn't have a champion either.
It's 3 chances. If we can convince the Oak King.
All right. Quinn, do you want to do this?
I don't 100% think I understand what this is. But
You would essentially be competing for the Birch Queen's interest.
Well put.
Yeah, you're trying to get to be her friend. But another
I
best
don't-
friend.
Friend is
but-
one way to describe it.
Very best friend.
well, you've got a knight already of the Rose Court who is ripe for trial.
Oh no!
I don't think you
Oh.
can really
Look at my badge. Shine my badge. I will take on the thunder.
No!
Make another
no.
best friend. Do you think she likes bracelets?
Yes, she absolutely does. I mean, if this is what stops creatures from invading our cities, then this is what we shall do. Perhaps the finer details will work out as we get closer to this carnival or whatever it is. But I think
I agree. If we win, we could ask the Birch Queen to rein in the River King a little bit, or at least bring him to a treaty table. Get him to stop his attacks in the mortal realm.
If we win, we could ask to retain control of the Sealicorns for longer. Or treat us the River King, of course.
No, that was a much better idea, and I'm very angry with myself because I didn't come up with it.
The River King will need to be curtailed.
Every time you bring up the river,
If you care about the mortal realm, but you might not.
she gets
They
all
do.
flustered every time we bring up the River King. I don't know what that's about.
It's just though. I
Be
don't
like
get
that. She's
flustered.
giggling. Look, play the tape, Godwin. There's another tape of her giggling.
Oh no,
It's like
don't
that.
worry. I know.
Handsome.
She had his posters on her wall as a young one.
Oh.
It's one of those things.
Dorian, I will throw you off this tree.
Oh.
well, that's good. 'cause
She's just sitting there.
it sounds like
What
half of
else
the courts
is
want to
there?
go to war with him, so maybe Romeo and Juliet moments.
Maybe you can
Right.
use your wooing skills, your ability to get wooed to also affect him.
Aren't we wooing the Birch Queen?
Esmeralda's gonna stop.
Turn to
There's an
his
awful lot of wooing.
What's a Romeo and Juliet?
Oh, it's a play about these
goblin
star-crossed lovers.
and a troll who loved each other very much,
None of
and
that.
It's got different
Boring
renditions.
humans. A couple of teenagers who made some bad decisions. That's what it's about.
That 4-day relationship that killed 7
Yep.
people.
Classic material plane love and affection. Taylor's old as time.
It was an elf and an orc. This is a fantasy world. There was an elf and an orc, and they had forbidden love. It was also in a book, novelized, serialized, and I don't know, all the women were buying it.
James.
How far is the Birch Queen's fair?
You need to be nominated in order to get there.
Oh, we can't even. We can't just walk there.
Well, you can. In fact, champions are supposed to undertake the hero's journey to the fair, but it's not for another week or so.
We've got a week to earn the Oak King's favor.
Well, I would hope that they would nominate sooner. It will take some time to walk. The court is not, the fair is not for a week, but there is a journey to be had if the champions choose to take it.
So we have 3 entrants. We have 3 of us, 3 to stack in this competition. The Rowan, the Oak, and the Court of Roses.
Well, none is as the Sealy Court. Yes, yes, that would be as it would go. But of course, the other courts will nominate. We will not be alone.
Yes, but we have 3 versus their 1.
No, they will have a couple as well.
Yes, every court would nominate.
The River King would have his own.
Birch Queen.
Yes.
Mhm.
Other courts may very much come out of everywhere.
But we are allied, I mean. There's 3 courts on our side.
Yes.
There are lots of courts, aren't there?
They may not all be allied
Yes.
together,
Just-
though. Is I think the points that if we can secure 3 nominations, then we can increase our
Better
chances
chance.
threefold. And it's a
Yes.
plan, I suppose. It's the making
And
of a plan.
you, Esmeralda's brother, you have the Rowan King's favor. You will be the champion for Rowan King.
I would hope so. I'll be petitioning the Rowan King for that honor.
Will you join us on the hero's journey?
Oh, you're serious? You are going to represent the Court of Roses?
I
Which
I,
one?
I,
I will
said,
represent.
I puff my chest forward with the Court of Roses badge.
Esmeralda will just. I will represent the Court of Roses as one of the last standing princesses who has not abandoned the court.
I see. How are you with the bow, lady?
I can work on it.
We've got some time. We can teach you.
Oh, I've been working on something.
Of course.
Oh God.
That could work. And you were thinking to represent the Oak King?
I think we should ask if they have a representative or not, and perhaps they already do, and he or she's a finer competitor than both of us, all of us.
Well, that'd be one of you. And I believe there's only going to be one Eladrin. That's a choice.
What are the different competitions again? We have the bow,
Dancing,
Sewing.
poetry.
dancing, and poetry. Anything
Generally,
else?
a favor. Like, if you normally the archery would cull the herd, so to speak. The performance would placate the commoners. But it's whoever really strikes her favor would take her hand, be the consort for the year.
So the competition's really sort of rigged. You don't have to be good at anything but winning favor.
Well, you have to shoot to get a seat at the table.
Okay. Well, that
You have to. People have to enjoy your company to stay at the table.
I see.
Who she chooses in the chambers is an entirely different arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
He just starts drinking the pixie wine.
Esmeralda's also picked it and
Yeah,
just starts
so
chugging
just-
in.
All's fair in love and war, I guess.
Oh, Esmeralda, this would help you. And I put on bracers on your wrists, and I hand you a bow.
What is this
From-
as well?
Try shooting. Shoot an arrow at that bottle over there.
Okay, let me. You drop the bracers and the bow into the party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I slapped on those bracers of archery, so you're proficient in longbows now.
Oh my god. I'm not kidding. That is a complete accident. But how cool is that? That's cool.
Yeah.
That's an actual accident. That's not planned whatsoever. Yeah, you need to be proficient in a bow, Esmeralda, who isn't. And here's
Yep. All right, let's add this in.
Elbows
here.
straight.
I'm trying to see if I can do this. There we go. And a longbow.
Hold your back up.
on your actions page. You now should have a button under your items, under braces of archery, which you'll need to click to be awesome at it.
Okay, so under actions, I have a +4 to the longbow, so I think it already did that. Oh, hold on.
You need to scroll down a
just hit
little bit
this.
further under items to hit the braces of archery button to get the extra benefit. There we go. And then roll the big black dice under longbow. And I'll give you 20 arrows for fun.
You do have to open your eyes.
Why am I? Why? Oh
See.
No,
no!
I'm talking. Not Chisme, the bottom.
Did you roll on that one?
Luckily, she
No.
A two.
Oh.
Is that right? Hold on, I don't know if it
Wait,
did
what's your
thing.
dexterity, Taylor?
It's a +1.
Oh, okay, so then it's right.
Yeah. All right. She's like, all right, eyes open this time.
Please.
Tis
Yeah.
me.
Dorian takes the wine.
Everyone stands
17.
behind her.
And this time you
Great
hit
shot.
Chisme.
Jeez.
All right. Well, law of averages. I suppose you'll hit something a bit. We'll keep practicing.
She just has to be good enough to get through. If
It's
I'm
true.
understanding correctly, she just has to be good enough just to get through the initial first thing, and then it's for wooing time.
Well, and then she turned to Dorian and she goes, "What you're not even good at. You have never been good at archery for as long as I've known you. Have you been practicing all of a sudden?"
Yes, I've had 50 years.
Oh, that's fine.
Sorry. I couldn't help myself. Yeah, well, yes, not really. I mean, I can try. I'll be
Okay,
fine.
here, shoot the bottom. Here, give him a bow.
All right. Let me quickly find him, and I'll take a shot with a bow. Yeah, it seems I only have a dagger.
Good man.
I mean, just roll dex, right? He's not proficient
Let me have a look.
unless it's allowed you to get that or something.
They should get no.
Yeah.
6, exactly the same roll. Okay, fine. I'll try with my eyes open. One moment.
Do all 4 roses shoot the first shot with their eyes
Rolls a
closed?
14.
You guys do understand.
Esmeralda will just-
Fundamentally, your eyes have to be open to shoot this. Like that is.
We're magic users. This
More
is
of an intuitive thing.
Shoot a magic arrow. Does it have to be
Aiming?
a normal arrow?
actually a brilliant idea.
I'm pretty sure they wouldn't allow magic missiles, would they?
No, but what if we imbued the arrow with magic as we fired? All we need to do is hit, but make an impression.
Chicanery.
I can do that.
What?
I'm gonna lean over to Tismay.
Can I take an arrow? I want to can I make like a not quite an exploding arrow, but like a confetti arrow that when it hits it like a small explosion goes off, some confetti or something.
Yes.
Just do a prototype right now.
Yep. A bit of
What is
tinker.
this?
Take you 15 minutes or so just to.
This is
Can I
like
roll something, or we're just
Maybe
good?
you and me shooting these. Maybe you shooting.
Oh,
this
we can
bow.
make. If you're
the end of
no,
those.
it's not making an arrow that
It's not
shoots
gonna end
confetti is fine. Doesn't do any
Okay.
damage. That's cool.
No.
This is the prototype. So then I go, okay, here, Queen, shoot this at that target over there.
I'll roll on that one now, of course.
Of course.
You said just roll like a deck save?
Now place it in your longbow. You've got a longbow.
Oh, that's right. I don't ever use the longbow.
It's rubbish.
Rubbish.
Oh, I rolled with advantage, maybe?
With
And I
disadvantage.
It was an 11, so yeah.
Hang on a minute. Why have you? What happened to you? Did you get restrained and knocked unconscious and blinded again?
Not last fight. Last fight, I was literally on the guy's head the whole time, chopping webs.
I've got you prone for some reason.
Oh,
All right,
nice.
you're prone.
And this whole time you've been sliding across the ground.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah.
All right, try again, my friend.
Okay.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Still more accurate, actually, than both.
Did it hit anything, Jay? I mean, did it hit the wall, though, at least?
I think it's
Just
just
hit me
sailed
again.
out of the oak tree and he just
Wow.
kind of-
Hitting me. Godwin goes, can you retrieve it?
Yeah, sure.
Tismay's still pinned against the wall from Esmeralda's second shot.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
will
know
fire
I'm
the
trying
shot.
it away. And I'm sorry, Tismay, I'm sorry.
It's funny.
Okay. Try again, Quinn. Now this time just hit the wall, okay? Just hit the wall.
Bang,
Ah.
24. Yeah, no worries. Easily. And it just sort of hits the wall and immediately explodes in glitter and confetti.
So something like that, but more?
Well, the hitting
What if
is
we
the
did-
important thing.
Yeah, it doesn't.
We need to actually hit.
make it better
Yes.
to hit.
Oh. No, I mean, you said that. How about what weapons can you use? Can you use a spear? I'm talking
Yes.
to.
I think that would be fair. I have seen satyrs, centaurs, and the like spear from a distance. Traditionally, archery gains the most favor.
Okay. Well, if you give me a day, I can make you a magical spear.
That'll be enough. And well, Quinn is
You
flashy
want a
with
dagger?
his
Do you
daggers.
want the dagger too? What's better for you, man? What weapon is best for you that you can throw? That's what I'm saying.
Depends
For
on
me.
the range. Oh.
Yes.
Well, for me,
Yes.
I'm happy to use a bow. I'm more than comfortable.
Oh, okay. But then yes, I can't. I don't think I can. I can't change. Only on a level up can I change my infusions, right? So.
Yeah.
And returning weapon, I can only put on. What is? Let me actually
Thrown
look
weapon.
up.
Thrown weapon.
Is it-
I believe so. Have a look at your abilities on your.
Yeah.
abilities
I'll
page.
look at my abilities.
Should have it there.
Okay. Well,
Didn't say.
we've got a plan.
It's a start.
A simple or martial weapon with a thrown property.
Yeah.
How do we talk to the Oak King now?
Or
Esmeralda
perhaps
will look at Dorian and nod.
I will gain an audience. Chiron will be speaking with him presently, but I don't know about you. Perhaps some rest.
Please.
We were interrupted last time. A little more rest would probably go a long way.
I'm happy to speak with the Rowan King. I probably have a little more to undertake.
You'll come right back.
Should warn you though, the River King, the attacks will have begun soon. I'm not sure what his intent is. None of us are. If we do attend the Birch Queen's fair, he will have begun.
Attacks on the material
Mortal
plane?
realm.
Yes.
I believe the river's in flood.
With how time works, would it be possible for us to try to... No, probably not.
Is this the best?
Both?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I didn't know if it'd be possible for us to deal with both. Is it our best course of action to go to the Birch Queen Fair when everything's happening in the mortal plane?
I'm not sure what would happen if you went through, or if you could find a way across to the mortal realms. I'm sure the River King has passage. I'm just warning you, you may not be able to do both.
My understanding that, well, the invasion of the immortal realm, they even with what the Shadowfae has been doing, it's not like, the military is in full swing. They can repel an invasion. It seems like you're saying is, if we can stop this turnover, that will be a significant roadblock in the Shadowfae's power grab. So even though it's like sometimes with strategy you have to give up one thing for the war. And this seems like one of those things. I think we have to trust that we can't control everything, and we have to do. This is more time sensitive, right?
If we don't,
yes, the River King will continue beyond that of the Birch Queen.
If we don't deal with the source, then we'll be repelling attacks, much like our brave lieutenant, over and over, not ever finding reprieve. So we have to deal with the source. I mean, we have to discover. That's the only reason we're here, is to figure out what is causing this bleed over in the first place.
If we stop the change of power, we may be able to get the River King to treat with us. At least enough to find out what's gotten him so angry.
Perhaps. Go to the training, sorry.
Oh, no, so we don't know why he's angry?
A slight, but no one knows what that slight was. I can't possibly even begin to think who or what could have slighted him on the mortal planes. The only thing I could possibly think of that was Faye out there was the miller's wife, the Aladrin. The one who looked, well, like him. And she'll point to Dorian.
It could also be a fabrication from the Shadowfae. They've been kidnapping people and taking them over and using their magics. So it could be something they created to make him, to set up the material plans, as it were. As an inside job kind of thing, as Drake would say.
I didn't consider that. It could very well be a Shadowfae fabricated a slight, and he sees reason to respond.
Yes, seems like their MO.
No, that's actually a very good point, Biswell. If the Shadowfae wants to keep power, it would be best to keep both the Birch Queen and the River King busy with their own realms. It's certainly a very Fae thing to do. Right, okay.
One step at a
I think
time.
we've settled.
The first
Birch
step
Queen
is wooing the Birch Queen and entering her chambers. And laying eggs with her so she will listen to us.
Step is to secure favor from the Oak King, and then the hero's journey,
Then
and
eggs.
then all of us learn how to shoot a bow.
Well, Quinn, I think you could throw your daggers. It's just bow and arrows see more favorably, but that doesn't mean that we're without flexibility. You have a certain style to your dagger card that mean.
Oh, sorry.
Esmeralda just kind of sighs and thank you, Dorian. She'll just
There's a
figure it out.
certain ruggedness to a dagger. That's what I think you'll be fine with a dagger. There's a certain ruggedness that you, for some on godforsaken reason, can pull off.
And in my correct, everybody does the bow, right?
Most people
What?
will shoot a bow, yes.
So some rough and tumble, bad boy outsider comes in with a bunch of cool made daggers by some awesome blacksmith. That might catch your eye more. Like, oh, everybody else is doing the bow, but there's this.
Going for the bad boy angle.
Yes, the bad boy, the Rolling Stone comes in and throws a dagger and wins her heart and
Oh, I'm uncomfortable.
lays a bunch of eggs with her.
Oh, there it is
Say
again.
James Dean, I got it.
But he won't wait around for the eggs to hatch. He just moves on to another town.
Did someone tell you that Fae lay eggs? I'm
Don't.
confused.
What? No, that's how babies are made. They lay a bunch of eggs. Everybody gets together in a big sex pile, and then, right? Eggs are laid.
Just spit all over my monitor.
That's
I was doing really good until the sex pile.
that's how babies are made, right? That's how you guys make babies, don't you?
I don't make babies, so. You know what? Maybe you're right, Fizbo.
You know what?
Oh no.
Maybe we should submit Bisbo as the Oak King's.
I don't understand why you're all laughing.
We need
Is that how it works?
we need to get you a book with some tastefully made illustrations. And maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. Maybe.
You know what, Quinn? I'm going to leave this to you to explain to him. I feel
thanks.
that that's.
And I was supposed to get rest tonight, so
best.
now I'll spend the next.
I don't know why. It just that's how kobolds have babies. So I thought that's not how you guys do it.
It is not.
Oh, okay.
It is not.
Sorry, what were we talking about?
No idea.
I think Dorian's gonna go talk to the Rowan King. The two Tismay and Esmeralda have left me to educate Bisbo.
You don't have to educate him now. Educate him on the road. You could maybe use the entertainment.
Yeah, that's
all get
the marching discussion that I'd like to have for the next 3 days. Is we'll Bisbo,
making
actually
visuals.
I have a better idea. Can we talk about this collection of monsters and look at Esmeralda creatures that we've encountered and talk more about how to create a diary and you show me the centaurs again, and I'm just gonna try and distract him with just anything, literally anything other than
As well as I lean over to Tismay and whisper, I think Queen's scared of sex.
That was
sex piles, to be quite clear. What I'm scared of, sex piles, is absolutely the thing that Quinn is scared of. So we got the roll for that one.
I think
Add that to your
I might
character sheet somewhere.
leave this to you. Lovely to meet
I'm
you.
going to bed. I'm going to bed.
I'm going to chat with the Rowan King. Shall we meet, say, at noon? Is that enough time to rest?
Sure.
It seems reasonable.
Works for me. And it's still a little early, but I'll deal.
He clasps as affectionate as he can become. He places a hand on Esmeralda's shoulder and says, I'm glad you're home.
I'm glad to be home. We've changed.
We can change it back.
Okay.
Good morning,
Well,
everyone.
Good morning.
Pleasure to meet you.
I kiss his hand again.
Oh. Less teeth,
It's
more
different
teeth.
now. This feels different now, doesn't it, than it did the first
Yeah,
time?
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Esmeralda, once Dorian leaves, Esmeralda was still in the bed and well, that's not how I envisioned my first conversation with Dorian to be back. But you've met one of my brothers. Ta-da!
Good looking guy.
Oh, his books. He said he would show me his books. I
He
run
did not.
after him.
We did
Did
not
not.
say
Did
that.
not.
Not happen.
No, Bisbal, come back. He's busy. We've got bigger things to worry about.
Okay, fine. Okay, who's going to the Oak King then?
He is, I believe.
Oh, I think you said
He's
you're going to the
going
Rowan King.
Yes, and he's going to talk to the Rowan King as he currently serves the Rowan King as an advisor to pitch the plan. And the Rowan King will assist us, hopefully.
Oh, we also have our friends. I will call to. I'll look at. Is Caden around? I'll call for Caden. Caden. Or like, what's our little pixie friend?
That was
her
the
name again?
Caden's
the noble. Yeah.
Is the noble hedgehog. Yeah.
And then who is the little pixie friend?
That
Koenig?
is
Cannon?
Koenig. Yeah.
Koenig.
Koenig. Yeah.
Koenig. I yell for Koenig.
That's a whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello.
Morning. Hello.
Good morning. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I mean, doing fine. We kicked a bunch of butt.
I know, right? Like it was cool. I picked 2.
Oh. Nice.
I got some good ones in.
Good for you.
Well, I picked them once with my beak, and then later on I turned back into here. I got one with a dagger. It was really awesome, and it was good.
Oh. I will make you a medal.
A medal.
Yes, to show your accomplishments in war.
Oh. Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Can it? I'm not going to lie. I kind of like, and he around his belt, you see, there's dangling a couple of tiny little chiming bells. Don't suppose you could make it a bell, because I kind of like them a lot.
Okay, I can make a bell. What about a?
Because you can put my name on that, and that could be a medal, right?
Yes, I can make you a little bell. Anyways, so okay, we'll do that for you. But can you get us Caden? Can you get Caden to come here?
Well, I could.
Mm-hmm.
He's very grumpy. Have you not noticed how grumpy he is?
Can you get to see? Yes, go on.
Esmeralda doesn't to step forward, and my apologies. I don't mean to intrude, but if you could let Caden know that the Princess Esmeralda asked him of the Court of Roses wishes to check in on him. I know we may have had a bit of an unfortunate circumstance with a giant tree spider. And
are you the 4th person with the room? Is this why we had 4 rooms and not 4 beds and not 3 beds? Is this the one that you were? Oh, hello.
Yes.
And he does a little bow. I'm Katie. Just if you need anything, give me a little whistle. Everything will be great. I'm sorry. What was the middle bit?
If you could let Caden know that Princess Esmeralda Astrum is looking to inquire about how he's faring. I know we had a bit of a scuffle with a giant tree spider, and I would like to check and make sure he's all right.
Big thing. I saw the giant tree spider. It was huge. It was really big.
Yes.
Caden was underneath that thing.
Caden managed to escape, thankfully.
Okay. All right. Well, do you know the rules? Oh, never mind. Yeah, I'll go try and find him. I'll find him. And
it just passed.
Like that, turns into a tiny little hummingbird-like creature and takes off immediately through a window.
It's good to be home. And Esmeralda comes back into the room. I've missed the energy of home.
And with that, guys, I have to say I'm sorry I have to end a little bit earlier this week. I have a child I've got to collect from school, but thank you very much. It is good to be home. And thanks everyone to our wonderful players So lovely to see you all. And that was a proper Fae game, was it not? We now get into
It was.
It was Faye. It was
There's a lot of whimsy.
I think this is the most I have ever laughed in a session.
That was ridiculous, Eric.
How do you think kobolds have babies? Okay.
And that's certainly a way to do it. But thank you all. We'll see you next week for episode 7 of Wrath of the River King, as our heroes are going to start to undertake a heroic journey on behalf of various courts, which ought to be interesting. And I can't believe Bismo isn't the champion of the Court of Roses. Oh well, I will get over that.
He still could be the champion of the Oak.
That's
Can
true.
Can we make up our own court?
It's also in play. Sure.
I will leave that up to you guys. I've got to go. Thanks very much for joining us once more, and we'll see you all next week. Take it easy.
Bye.